What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be showing you how to grind the mid icon SBC. So we've got a few different ways to get this done. We've got a lot of SBCs if you want to get done other than the icon. We've got player SBCs and all of these work in the same fashion. So we have got the mid icon player pick and we also have the 89, I think it's FIFA World Cup / prime icon. So you can go for either or. Obviously the mid will be a little bit easier to get done because obviously it is only 2 SBCs itself. You've got the 86, which is a small prime gold players, and you've got the prime mixed players pack, which again is not a bad one. So with these two objectives, we have a team of the week and then just 2 solid teams. They're the only 2 requirements for it, and you can finish these twice a day for the next 3 days. So whether you want to do this is up to you, to be honest. It's a 1 of 2, and there is a very good way of getting this done. So if we want to start from the beginning. So if you are 0 coins, you are absolutely 0, nothing to go, you want to start opening bronze packs now. You haven't got a lot of time, but I feel like if you are on absolute 0, I reckon you could get this done in 3 days. You could get at least 1 done at the minimum. I'm 100% certain with that. As long as you've got a little bit of coins to start the fund up, which I can imagine you should do at some point. If you've got 100k, I reckon it's doable. So from it, we want to go straight into the bronze packs. If we are absolutely nothing, if you've got a few golds in your club, you're absolutely fine. So if you've got a few, if you've not got anything in your club, start by opening bronze packs. Sell anything that's tradable, that's actually selling. Keep anything else and just get rid and completely grind the club. Sometimes check a couple of the nice looking kits as they do actually sell. Don't ask me why, but they do sell. But in terms of this, you want to hammer the bronze packs. Go absolute ham on them. Go as many coins deep as possible. Sell what you can. Rares, make sure you are selling because they are a must. They are an absolute must to sell because it keeps the balance ticking. You want to go from there, and we do have 2 very good upgrades for the next 52 days. Both of them are extra onto the bronze and silver upgrades with the exactly bronze. Again, like we said with the bronze, anything you couldn't sell, whack in. Whack absolutely everything in. Maybe want to keep some League SBC if you are grinding the non-premium, but personally, I'm going to talk about that in a second. I just personally don't think it's worth it. The premium mixed is very good. The mixed one, the minor league is just not. It really isn't. I wouldn't bother with it. Get every bronze gone, to be honest. I feel like at this point in the game, the bronzes are now not like how they used to be. Then you've obviously got the premium silver. Again, very much like the other one. To be fair, you could keep some of the major league players. That might actually not be not bad idea. So again, we will go with the silver commons because we have had a lot of icon SBCs with the bronze and silver. So if I, for instance, get rid of all of these, we'll just quickly get these through because I can imagine, which we'll have a look in a second, the silver premium and also the bronze premium might actually be selling for a little bit right now. So let's have a quick look at English 2. Nothing too special. Okay, so we're only looking at 300 still. So it'd be interesting to see if we do get any more. With obviously some icons coming out, we may see the value of that increase a little bit more. I feel like the icons that have come out, they're not really tempting anybody yet. With obviously someone like a Zidane coming out, for instance, just because I know we've had him, that would tempt people to do him, meaning that everybody's doing him. So for instance, we've got the bronze and silver here. We also have it for Drogba. We have it for Lineker, and I believe Vidic came out. I don't know if he's in the other tab, or he might not have came out yet. If we do see him out soon, then obviously that will raise it that little bit more. I feel like he might not be out then yet. No, so Vidic and Barnes are not out yet. That will be in the next couple of days. So make sure you are grinding with these bronze rares, and silver rares will also sell. From this then, you get your 4 silvers, just as a quick kind of go through of the absolute bottom tier, because this is all you want to do. Keep grinding through. Literally most silvers, bar from Lib and Suds, everything else can go into the SBC. Maybe if you get like a Marseille player, which we'll obviously get to in a second, that again could be relatively useful. And this is kind of what you want, to be honest. A non-League SBC player that you can put into an 80+ player pick. Obviously with these upgrades, I think the 80+ player pick's here for a while. yeah, he's here for another 3 days. So obviously we've got the same balance between them. So again, with this, you only need, I think it's 7 commons and then obviously 1 rare, which is absolutely fine. So we will go and put in anybody that doesn't go into the League SBC, which obviously we will tell you in a second. So once we've got them all in, that is absolutely perfect. And then we'll go with a gold rare. We'll go with the untradeable. We'll go for, I'm not using the Spanish players. And again, I will go through which ones I personally use and what the best ones are for the League SBC, as that's going to be the extra grind on top. So once we've done that, we've given up our gold common. You want to be doing as many as possible because you don't want to be grinding and getting rid of players. The whole point of this is to keep everybody. The one of 280 plus is going to give me an 83. Again, it's kind of an up and down with it, but what this does is one of 2 ways with the 83s. You can either go and put them into a player SBC to get a pack back, or you potentially, because 83 is not going to specifically help us with the mid-icon, maybe if you get him duplicate, you'd want to move in then. But we do have, I believe still, the Future Star Academy, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. Or obviously the 85 player pick. That again would be a nice one. But the Future Star Academy can be obviously done quite a few times. It requires an 82 rated squad. So again, you can get commons, as we'll show you now, that are 81 rated. So for instance, if we was just to whack everybody in, this is just a demonstration, if we was to whack everybody in, we would probably only need a handful of 83s, which more than likely you would actually get from this 80 player pick. So for instance, Fabian we don't need, Pau Torres we don't need. We need a Pellegrini? Probably not. But all of these players, if we swapped them for the 79, we're already on 80 rated. There's 81. Maybe an 84 drops it up. Nearly. So realistically, we probably only need one more 83. And we've got an 82 player pick. Again, you could argue that you could get free 82s. That is the risk you take. But there is a bigger chance you get a bigger 90 rated player that would really help with the mid-icon pack. I would suggest when doing the Future Stars Academy or obviously the 85 player pick, I personally would do them once you have got a duplicate. Don't go just because you've got 11, I can go do one, because that's where you then maybe get the next one as a duplicate. I could go get Romero again, and technically it's the second 83 rated player. He's duplicate. I'd rather have a full 9 in and only have to buy 1 rather than having to buy 9. It's just as simple as that, really. So from there, you're doing your 80 plus player picks, you're doing your upgrades. If obviously you've got some gold cards, you can start with some League SBC to start with, then obviously we can go straight into this premium mix League SBC. So if we want to do this quickly, we have obviously already got this Marseille team ready and raring. If we can, I believe, do we have anybody extra in this? Marseille for me has always been the better team to use, just because they're so easy to get. There's a lot of gold rares in this, which obviously in terms of rating, normally you can pick up relatively cheap. I think some of them probably have been cottoned onto. So if we go for Guendouzi, normally he's a little bit cheaper. Hopefully he is, which is even better. You normally, as I say, normally you can get them for 700 at a minimum, just because that is gold rares now. There is very little value, and with this, you could just go buy them. There is almost no kind of downfall. Yes, you might kind of chuck in a few more coins every now and then. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. You obviously want to kind of go for the best price you possibly can. That again is just a natural. You look for the best price like we see here. To be honest, I probably, like, how much is he actually going for? 2.5k. I reckon I could go get a common for cheaper than that. So if we was to go for Marseille, there is very little requirements in terms of actually gold rares. As we see, more than fine for the commons. Normally they're coming in about a K. I bet that buy is gone at 650. Again, you can go and snipe them if you really wanted to. We've already got him in the team, which is fantastic. Again, you can just see, just absolutely power through them. You know that you don't need to go get that gold rare for 2.5k. You're more than happy to go and get a lot of commons, and honestly we've got more players than we actually thought we might have. So we'll just go and buy the rest here. As we see, we get the last one in, perfect. We'll add him to the squad, and that should be everybody in here. So if we take out these two, we should have a full 11. Obviously, with some of them, you only need 2 rares, in fact, as well. So if there is a player like we saw over, I'd say about 1.5k, go and get a common instead, because we've got all the centre-backs in the world. There is a left-back. There is obviously a striker as well. Plenty of options to go and get this done. And as we see there, that one's nice and easy. That's probably one of the harder ones to get done. With this pack, personally, that's pretty perfect as it is, because this is going to be tradable. So this is the perfect one to get sold. So for instance, we've got all of these players. If you are low budget on coins and you obviously wanted to grind this out rather than going and buying everybody, sell everything in this pack. Don't go anything tradable, go completely untradeable. So we look at this player, we can sell him for 10k, we could discard him for 9.6. Zuma, we get rid for 600, we get rid for 600. We're recouping coins back and hoping in the untradeable one, we can absolutely blast out the profit. That is a big one to be able to do. So again, you've got 2 packs that you can get tradable players from. Absolutely everything. Position modifiers, hunters, shadows, commons, whatever you can sell, sell it. You want to get rid of everything, even if it is a top 86 rated player, sell him, because more than likely you'll be able to get it in the untradeable section, as well as these 2 packs and the prime gold. Then once you've done that, you then might have a duplicate that goes back into the 80 plus player pick. Once we've got the 80 plus player pick done, you rinse and repeat. And if you've got a little bit of coins to start with, maybe you've got a few golds in the club, keep rinsing and repeating. With obviously the Ligue 1, Marseille all the way. I personally go Serie A out of the 2 with the Bundesliga and Serie A. Serie A normally does me better. Premier League is where I'm at for the La Liga or Premier League. And then the Lib and Suds, again, it's a very much dependent on your club. And you've got to just look at the prices. I think Libs, there is some that can go for a kind of a really good price. And there's some that just absolutely are nothing. So make sure you are checking every single player you've got here. Also, if you have got some suds that are 75 rated, there is a couple of them. For instance, we've got one here, which is perfect. I don't know if, yeah, unfortunately, we've got the same team. We haven't got this team, which is perfect. And then I think we've got everybody else there. So, yeah. So we've got everybody else. We need one more gold player. Again, just look through the players. You'll know who you've got that obviously is kind of a different team. Normally goalkeepers tend to be quite cheap, and I believe, yeah, there's a Brazilian goalkeeper. If the daily login SBC or daily SBC is not anything to do with Brazilians, you normally can get him relatively cheap. He looks like he's up at a value. Don't just go for anybody. Make sure you are looking through, because that is where you're going to really cut the corners on some prices, because you know that if you just go for the same player that you just see every single time, you are more than likely going to spend more coins than not. I've seen players, so we get 1.9 here. Personally, because we're not really kind of too worried about the coins there, I'll happily put it in. But you've got to make sure that you are being careful with it, because you can get stung with 3k, 4k. There's so much there that you just sometimes will just keep going, and eventually you will find somebody. And obviously then it depends on your patience with this. With the more you do it, you'll notice the players. There is always some sort of pattern with the players. We've got it done there. Nice and easy. 1.9 because we've got the rest. I'm more than happy to spend 1.9 to finish it. This is obviously untradeable, and it's 80 plus overall as well. We get a board, which is perfect. Argentinian right wing. It's going to be Di Maria 84. It can be useful with obviously the mid icon, because if you get an 87 or an 88, you can obviously lower the rating down just to kind of help you through it. And then obviously anybody that's tradable, we can sell. So we get another 450 back. It's all about just doing your tradables. That is the big thing with it, is grinding through and getting them tradables sold, because it keeps you the coins. EA are doing a wonderful job of sucking every bit of coin out of you. You've got to make sure that you are selling anything tradable. It's the biggest thing. You forget that everything's tradable. You put it in your club. I'll figure about it later. Once we get the mid icon, I'll sell them 86s. Oh wait, I've just used them all in the SBC. I'm a victim to it. I absolutely know. I've sold countless Bernardo Silvas and more than likely could have got 30, 40k for the lad. Unfortunately, we've put him into an SBC. We've not reaped the benefits, and that's why my coins are only sitting at 400,000. It is what it is, but if you are grinding with little coins, make sure you are utilizing as much as possible. From there, we then just keep re-rinsing round, League SBC, duplicates, into the 80 plus. If then you wanted to do an 82 plus or a player, then obviously do that. Selling all the tradables, keeping all the untradables, and grinding round. It will fly by with how quickly you can get these players. We've already managed to get, we've got a De Bruyne, so more than likely we probably will do a mid icon or the 89 plus. Like I say, depending on which one you prefer. I would say I'd personally go for the 89, even though it is that little bit more expensive. I feel like it's more beneficial because you only get one go with it. I feel like I must do that one if I'm grinding enough in these next 3 to 4 days. This does have 5 days left, so I personally would go for this if you haven't done it. Otherwise, the mid is good enough. Let me know what you think about it. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.